Hey guys, Wayne Sutton here, the Coach's Corner. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. We're doing kind of a relaxed feel tonight, just kind of jumping on board here in the Coach's Corner. I'm a coach. I train coaches. I work with coaches, and we're bringing on other coaches. So that's the whole point of this message, just to be able to bring in other people to discover what they're doing, and just jump on board. So this is going to be fun. If you're just jumping on with us, we have a great show planned. And so Josh is going to be with us in just a moment. We're going to talk about that, how this works, the whole process. It's going to be fun. So again, glad to have all of you on. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to share with you, a couple of things I want to recommend for you. When you come on board, jump in, get our book. Get our book, first of all, lifecoachlifestyle.com. And so let me get Josh invited in real quick. Okay, so Josh will be with us in just a minute. On the Coach's Corner, we're going to talk about tonight a dating coach. We have other coaches coming on board with us. This is just a relaxed feel. Again, how can you jump on board? Just let me know. If you are a coach, you would love to be on board with us, let us know, okay? So we're going to be bringing in just 1 second. Let's bring in Josh. So I'm going to send him over the link. So Josh, if you're watching me, you're going to have a link to jump in. So you'll jump on board on that link real quick. And we'll have you in just a second. Guys, it's going to be fun. The Coach's Corner. For those who are not life coaches, business coaches, dating coaches, as we have with Josh, if you thought about it, then make sure you pick up our book. Make sure that you pick up our book. We'll give you all the details on that tonight also. So Josh will be with us in 1 second. I'm going to introduce him and introduce you to the program. We'll have fun tonight. This is going to be fun. How many of you want to be, if you come on board, let me know. Here's what I need you to do. As you come on board, you can click in the link there, comment, let us know. Let us know where you're at. Let us know if you're a coach. If you're not a coach yet, then let us know what you are doing. Okay, let me 1 second. Running into a small technical issue here with getting Josh on. This is new software. This is my fault. New software. If it doesn't work this way, we'll find another way to make it work. We're going to make it work there either way. So, Josh, if you can hear me on here, give me some feedback in the comments. All right. All right, guys, give me one more second. Josh, if you're with me, can you hear me? Can you catch? Are you on with us yet? All right. So now we've got people coming on board. Him here not working through the link. AJ Sheber, thanks for being on, guys. You guys are relationship coaches. You want to hear what Josh is going to say. But we've got to get Josh on. And AJ and Sheber, you've been with me through some technical issues. You know how it is. So we're going to get that working in just 1 second. Give me one more second. All right. So let me check back here with Josh. All right, Josh, here's what we're going to do. Guys, every one of you watching this, I'm going to end this broadcast. We're going to start back. So I'm going to end the broadcast, and I'm going to see if I can get Josh on first, and then we're going to start back. If this fails, stay in Dream Life Coaching. Stay in Dream Life Coaching, and we'll pull up through Be Live, or we'll pull up in another way. We're going to make this work, guys. Hang tight. Well, okay, so coming now. Okay, let's see if it's coming on. All right, Josh, is it working for you? Gotta love Facebook Live. Dayton. Hey, look at that. Okay, so coming now. Okay, let's see if it's coming on. All right, Josh, is it working for you?
Yeah.
Are you with me, Josh? Are you with me?
Let me turn off your
Gotta love
sound.
Facebook Live.
Hold on. Yeah, there we go. All right. Hey.
Yeah, we may have a little bit of an echo. This is new technology on this end too. So, Josh, tell us where you're located. You know, everybody knows I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina, but you are in
Chiang Mai, Thailand right now, actually.
Thailand. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man. How great is technology that we can do this from all across the world, you know? Gotta
Nice.
love it. Gotta love it. Josh, how do you pronounce your last name? I don't want to say it improperly.
Rief.
Reef. Okay, great. So
yes, like there's P's after, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So here with Josh Reef, and guys, those who know me, I'm Wayne Sutton. I'm with prosperwithwayne.com. So what am I? I'm a coach that coaches. We get people certified, we get them 10,000 a month, and then we scale. The reason I wanted Josh on here is because a lot of people think of coaches and they think of a life coach, a spiritual coach, maybe a fitness coach. Josh is a little bit different in a good way. I would just say that. How many remember, and Josh, I don't know if this is a good reference. We're going to talk about this, but the movie Hitch, Will Smith, I loved it. And but we're going to talk about that and how you are or are not a hitch and what you do there. But just a little bit on Josh, guys, to let you know, former doctor turned dating coach. For 7 years, been teaching men all over the world how to meet and date the women they dream of for casual, serious relationships. He believes respecting women is essential for healthy dating. And looks like last year he started M-Force, a group coaching program for men that he plans to grow into a global men's community. I love it. Love it, Josh. How did a former doctor turned dating coach?
Yeah.
Turn the table over to you, man. Tell us how that happened and what we can learn from that.
Yeah, sure. So it's a little bit longer journey than that, but you know, anyone who lives in the U.S. knows the problems with the U.S. healthcare system. A lot of restrictions on doctors, and it's just a tough world to be in. But I really enjoyed helping people. So I was stuck in a system where I had to like follow all these insurance protocols and a lifestyle that wasn't for me. But I love helping people, and this was something I had been doing on the side. And I just thought that this really fits with my ability to help men and help people in a way that I could transfer that. But I've had a gap in between where about 5-6 years I've been running different businesses. And one of the reasons that I avoided dating coaching for so long was because of the culture, the pickup artist culture, the negativity. Yeah. I didn't want to go public as a dating coach. I was actually embarrassed by it, especially with some of the things that I teach and I'd have to back up my positions on. So I went through many other businesses, and I think it's finally it didn't work because this is what I meant to be teaching, and I just had to have the courage to come public with it. But I've been teaching on the side for about 7 years.
Awesome, man. You know, I love the what you said there. You know, there is a culture, and not just in the dating. You know, the pickup artist. There's different genres of coaching have their own negativity attached to them. I hear that a lot when people say life coach. What does that mean? You know, what is life coach? Too so vague. Dating coach. Are you just teaching men how to have sex with women, or are you teaching men how to have relationships, or both? And you know, so and there's this stigma that comes out. You look at Hitch, like the movie and TV, and you know, there's Neil Strauss and The Game, and we see all of this stuff out there. And you know, I go way back in the NLP and into that culture also from years ago in studying psychology and so forth. So I know there's a lot that can there's a lot out there. So let me ask you this. And so you're not, and I believe I tell people in coaching, be bold, be very bold in what you do, be unapologetic about it. If it's morally wrong, then maybe you don't need to be unapologetic. But if it's not, be very, very bold in what you do. So what do you, if you had a 30-second pitch here to say, this is what I do as a coach, what would it be?
So I think that there's two sides to dating coaching. And I think that one side is the pickup artist side, which is a heavy misogynistic culture that objectifies women. I've seen it. And then I think there's a mainstream side that includes Hitch and Hollywood and relationship coaches that teaches an ineffective method that just doesn't work. And I've seen both sides. So really what I'm doing is kind of finding that middle ground between what is effective, what works in dating, what actually works, and also being able to respect women and treat them as people and have real relationships. casual or serious. And I think that's important because if you look at mainstream dating coaches, I haven't seen any of them that teach how to set up casual relationships. It's always very serious relationship focused. So when guys want just casual relationships, they go to pickup artists. I haven't seen, maybe there are, but I have not seen dating coaches really focus on that. And I even get asked, why do I help guys get into relationships? And no, the answer is no. I help guys get options for whatever type of relationship that they want, and they can frame it so that the woman is happy with whatever relationship is set up. So that's really, I'm finding the middle ground. I'm pushing back against pickup artists, and I'm pushing it back against Hollywood and mainstream. So I'm I'm the middle ground, but I'm very like vocal and annoying middle ground.
That's good. Hey, listen, you got to polarize a little bit. You got to have a little polarization there. So I will say this: a lot of the stuff that was taught from the pickup artist, and for anybody that's on here, I have a strong following that are very loyal. A lot of people that are following me, you've been married forever. You don't know what a pickup artist is. So I'll preface that by letting people know it is using psychology, is using the right words, is using everything to attract a woman. Like, instead of using a pickup line, you use a pickup skill set. And then you're right. Then there's the relationship coaches where if Bob and Sally meet, and let's find marriage. I tell you this, one of the things that I think we do need in a culture is men. And I'd love your feedback on this, Josh. Agree or disagree, please. But and any comments, guys, comment. Your comments are going to be how we continue this podcast here. But one of the things I've seen with men is men don't know how to be men. And I don't mean that from a very macho, very strong. I mean, the men need to learn, for lack of better words, who they are, so they can treat a woman properly, but also so they can be respected as a man. And I found that very hard for me when I was dating after I went through a divorce and I was dating. And women were either very, men need to have options. You said it earlier. If you have options, I chose a beautiful bride. I have a wonderful wife, but it's because I had options. I didn't feel like I had to be with this one woman because she was the one that would give me attention. And I think women need to have that control back too. But it really goes back to, I believe, knowing that you can attract the right person and you can be who they're looking for. And again, as you said, if is that casual or is that long-term relationship? Who are the people that come to you? They come to you. I love your free guide here, how to approach women successfully without being creepy, man. Love it. I always tell all of my coaches, so listen to me, my coaches that are on here, how to blank without blank. He's followed the perfect protocol here of lead gen. What do people come to you? What's your typical avatar, your typical man that's coming to you? Is it, are they millennials? Are they older? Are they married? Are they divorced? Or is it a pretty wide range?
Yeah, so I get a mix. And when I started out doing this, I always thought that I'd find a certain type, and then I talk to more and more and more, and they're all different. So there's short guys, there's tall guys, they're awkward, they're introverted, they're extroverted. They kind of come up from all over the place. And the guys I want to work with, though, are more specific to who they are rather than their age or their height or anything like that, because there's a divide between a bitterness towards women. There's a divide towards misogyny. There's a divide towards men that want to respect women, that don't know what to do or how to attract women without they're afraid of being creepy. They're afraid of making women uncomfortable, so they don't do anything, right? And they also are open to getting help, and they're coachable. They want to succeed with women. They may have been friend zoned, so they may have some social ability, or they may not have social ability. But mainly the guys that come to me that I want to work with, they respect women. They believe that they can be successful with women, and they're looking for me to help them get there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
One tip you would give to, again, a lot of our people on here are, we have relationship coaches that are in our group that are focused on relationships. We have people that are working with people in a number of areas. What's your number one tip that you would give a man that says, hey, I'm looking. I suck with women, for lack of better words. I just suck. I can't find a woman. What's the biggest hurdle you normally see, or the biggest tip you could give somebody?
Well, I do think there is a good place for dating coaches, and I think that the general society needs to accept that more and not make it shameful to get a dating expert's help. The reason I say that is because there's so many complicated factors that I teach and so many ways that I work with my students that any one thing, they won't really have anything to go off of. So really, it's good to find experts' help. It's like, I've struggled to lose weight. I don't know this. I follow this diet, and what's the one thing I should do? Well, you should find an expert to help you.
Love that. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So your coaching program, without going into a lot of detail, do you work with them one-on-one? Is it more group-based coaching? Is it educational, or is it a hybrid of it all? How does your program work as a coach?
Sure. So I have two-part. One is private coaching. So that's just me and the guys one-on-one. I do it remotely. And yeah, I talk through on the phone with them. We have a plan and we go and work on different things. They take some different actions and we go over their dates and their texts and their online dating profiles and everything. And that I do on private one-on-one calls and things like that. And then I have a group program called M-Force that is a cool forum. And a lot of the same lessons go into that. It's more self-directed. So guys that aren't dealing with real self-esteem issues, but they still need a ton of help with what to do, how to do it. So they come in, they ask questions, I give them lessons, and then they go and take action on their own. And ultimately, I want to grow M-Force into a global men's community because I think that's missing. I was in the pickup artist community, and there's massive groups throughout the world that people don't know of that were actually teaching misogyny and a lot of these tactics and things like that. And I want there to be groups of men that across the world they can be proud of to join this and public with it and say, you know, I joined this group and I'm a part of this men's community and we learn, you know, dating stuff. And a part of that is how we respect women, how we treat women. We're proud of what we teach and what we learn and what we do.
That's awesome. So let me ask you, some of the techniques from the pickup artist, though, do some of the same techniques apply in your coaching? You know,
Sure. So absolutely. I mean, it's just like salesmen and con artists, right? They have the same playbook. They just use it with a different purpose. So con artists are excellent salesmen, but they're lying to you and manipulating you. Whereas a good salesman uses a lot of the same techniques, the process, strategy, psychology doesn't really change. His motivation is different. His motivation is to help you. Whereas a con artist's motivation is to hurt you or steal from you. So that's really the difference. That's why, you know, that's the problem is mainstream dating coaches don't know what they're talking about. Pickup artist coaches are the con artist version of what works. So my goal is to take the actual psychology, the evolutionary biology, the techniques that have been tested that I know work, and then put a frame on that where we are really forming healthier relationships, whether it's casual or serious. And I keep emphasizing that because all over Facebook and people talk to me saying like, has to be a serious relationship to be legitimate. And I'm like, no, with Tinder, it's 2019. Can we not find a way that women and men are both happy with casual relationships that they get from online dating apps? Because right now we don't have that. We have manipulation. We have guys lying to women saying they want to make them their girlfriend in order to just get a hookup and things like that. And it's just totally, it's unnecessary. It's not needed. And we need kind of a middle ground for all of this.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, Josh. I know a lot of people, say what they have to say to get the girl in bed or whatever. And then, it comes from a place of clarity and a place of purpose up front, being real with each other. For instance, when me and my wife met, we set some real clear boundaries up front during our whole dating process. And, but some of the things that helped me meet my wife and attract my wife, I learned years ago. I mean, asking the right questions, knowing when to back off, knowing the game, basically, and then asking myself, can I be the kind of man that she wants? And I think that's where a lot of men miss it. And, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of men, they have no game. They have no skills. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to find a woman's criteria or what's important to her, or what she's looking for in life. And so they say what they think they're supposed to say, which is what every other guy says. And so you don't stand out because you're just saying the same BS everybody else does. But if you can be truthful, that alone helps you stand out. And I always tell my coaches, when you're coaching with anybody, find out what their goal is. Make that crystal clear outcome. You may change direction, but outcome always needs to be clear with both parties. So, so you're doing this full time now. How? And so I'm going to ask you from coach to coach, if that's okay, because we have other coaches that are going to be watching this.
Sure.
Let people know, because a lot of people say, "Can you really make money?" I'm not asking you to tell us what you make, but people ask, can you really make money as a coach, as a dating coach? Can you really make money? Will people really pay you for this advice? And I'm like, well, people pay for advice. People pay for help. But can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think dating coaching is tricky and interesting because it's a life transformation. So in theory, it should be one of the most valuable forms of coaching ever. I mean, if you can't get a date and then you meet your wife through coaching, how much is that worth?
Absolutely.
Is it worth? I mean, put a price on it. Some people would pay $1 million for that. I mean, that's not even crazy. If you had $10 million and you go 10 years and you can't meet a woman and you want to get married and have kids, and I can do it, why wouldn't you pay $1 million for that? So if that's the starting point, if you have 10 million, would you give me $1 million? Then yeah, I think it's worth any amount of money. The trick is that society has shamed men for asking for help. I've seen that a lot, where not just from the pickup artist community, but the idea of hiring a dating coach is embarrassing. It's shameful. And so a lot of my guys, actually, I had to learn this because, when I started going full time on this, I had some private guys through referrals, but when I started reaching out, a lot of them wanted to remain anonymous. And so Facebook is actually tricky for that. And I've had to look at Reddit and other areas to really connect with guys because they were afraid to share their name. So that's really my challenge, is not convincing guys on the value of dating coaching. It's that it's worth paying for and it's not embarrassing to pay for it. So
yeah, that's good. If somebody wants to lose weight, they hire a coach. People come to me, they want to build their coaching business. I have a lot of coaches that are stuck at couple $1,000s a month. They're like, Wayne, I need to get to full time. I need 6 figures. So they hire a coach, and there's no embarrassment in that. But you're right. When it comes to women, comes to sex, when it comes to relationships, I think women are quicker to reach out for help. I don't think they have that embarrassment. And maybe they do. I could be wrong on that. But like a man does.
And then the other thing I want to say is that on the pickup artist side, the coaches are a lot of times scammers or misogynists or things like that, and they've really tainted the coaching community. There's a race to the bottom on price, so they're coming out with everything's a $20, $60 ebook or mini course. A lot of them are junk. So when they do jump in, they end up with so much junk, garbage advice that also makes it skeptic. There's a lot of skepticism behind it.
Yeah. David DeAngelo. I think David, if you look at Eben Pagan, what he did, he went from a $7 ebook, W Dayton, but then he went into multiple $1,000 courses, masterminds, and he did it, and now he's in the informational realm more than anything. But he didn't do a race to the bottom, and I think that's right. When you compete in one area, and it's easily to duplicate, and that's what I always tell coaches: have a signature system that somebody can't just come in and copy. They can copy your technique, but they can't copy your coaching. They can't copy what you're doing in these mastermind effects. If you got a course, anybody can copy it, rip off and duplicate. But if you have a mastermind program, this will make it a lot easier. And then you can talk to people really where they're at as well. And that's what I truly respect. Coaching needs to be, coaching is the most valuable to me outside of my faith. Coaching is everything. If I were single again, coach me, teach me, because I want to be the best that I can be in every area. And like I said, I think without some of the skills, I would not be with my wife. I really had to know how to attract. And you're right. What is that wife and my beautiful children worth to me? Everything. So if you have somebody has a big enough pain, back to coaching, and you have the solution, then what's it worth? And so I think that's a great place to be. And I love what you're doing, man. I really do. I think you don't have to apologize for what you're doing. Some people won't get it. That's okay. It is. It's okay. They're the ones that are unhappy, probably. Anyway, so how to meet and date attractive women is your Facebook group, and I will tell you that I'm not in there because I'm happily married, and I don't want to cause confusion on anything there in a public forum. But I'm going to tell men that are watching this, find somebody with some integrity like Josh and check it out. Go in there. And for our coaches, I want people to see what's available. Now, one question I did want to ask you, Hitch. I joked about it. We talk about it. But what that portrayal, there was people that wanted Hitch for serious relationships. There's people that wanted Hitch for sex. I know it was a made-up movie. But how much of Hitch is Josh's life and how much of it is purely Hollywood?
Zero.
Zero.
No, I mean, this is what Hollywood gets wrong, and the problems that I have with it is there's a few problems. First one is that Hitch himself is a tall, good-looking man, and one of the problems with dating coaching and things like that is a tall, good-looking man, his techniques aren't going to work for a lot of the guys that are awkward, shy, not charismatic, things like that. So when he has them do certain things, it's just not going to play the same way. When a tall, good-looking, charismatic guy like Will Smith walks up to a woman, the interaction is going to go different no matter what he does when I do or another guy does. So I think that's a point. And then the second part is, I mean, there's a couple good things in the movie, but most of the movie is focused on two women, right? So a woman that he's chasing and the woman that his student is chasing. Right, and the biggest problem with that is that in Hollywood has this is man chasing woman. And that's a weak point. It's always man chasing woman. And that's why these guys are failing is they're chasing one woman instead of having multiple options. Even when they want a serious relationship, they should have multiple options and they should be with the woman that they have attracted to them. Attraction it's magnets, right? Attract to you. That's attraction. Chasing a woman down is not attraction. And so what he does actually when he first meets that woman is incredibly creepy, where he takes her on a first date, very invested on jet skis to check out something about her family that he looked up. It was very creepy. And I was like, if any of my guys did that, she would never instant block. If you research her family on a first date and took her it's just over the top. That's like a 6-month anniversary type thing. It's trying too hard. It's too much investment, and it's chasing a woman down. And women don't want to be chased down like that. They want to be attracted to the man and shown that he is a strong man that has other options. So she's got to show him that she's interested. And then the other part is the student that he has, standing out with that woman, acting, being strong, things like that. The teachings were fine, but he was obsessed with a woman that he had barely even spoken to. And so the whole movie was about how to get this one singular woman. And that was the wrong message, because that guy once he got her, he was still going to be obsessed with one woman because he had no other options. So the problem I have with that movie is, let's say they got married, his marriage may or may not go well because he's holding on to her as he has to have her, because if the marriage fails, he has no chance with any other women. He's not ready in the dating world. And so when people ask, why do I teach casual? Is because when guys have lots of different options, I feel like their relationships are stronger because they get into a relationship because they want to be in, not because they're lonely, and not because they've prized one singular woman over the rest. They're actually getting to know her. And this guy was obsessed with the woman without even knowing her. So the whole Hollywood thing, it's a show, but guys take it too seriously. And I think, I've actually watched some comedy movies that I think are better dating movies than like Hitch. I think 40-Year-Old Virgin has some more realistic scenes in it than Hitch does.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Yeah. So I tell you this too, it's really funny how some of the movies have definitely studied or been influenced by the pickup artist and the, everything from, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank here. I watched a movie the other day and the guy was using third-party stories in his conversation with third-party stories and embedded commands, and those who understand NLP will know what I'm talking about. And the woman was like, "Oh yeah, and he ended up moving right in." And I'm like, I was like, he learned that from a pickup artist somewhere along the way. But it was a mainstream movie. But I think it does taint Hollywood. People need to know that anyway. Hollywood is Hollywood. There's a reason. But it's good. You brought up some really good points there. So, man, I'm again, keep doing what you're doing, being bold, bringing some integrity back to the dating realm. Everybody needs to check their own morals, ethics, and religion when it comes to what they are going to do in a relationship. But once you have that, then you've got to have options. You really do. I know you will. And it's the same with coaching. If you coach anybody that comes to you, anybody with a credit card, it's real easy to self-destruct in the coaching realm too. You got to choose who you coach. You got to choose that avatar. You got to choose who you want to work with. And one way you choose, guys, is being very bold, as Josh is here, very bold in what you're asking for. And another way you choose, or you determine who you work with, and I don't mean this wrong by no means, but since we're all coaches on here, is this: they're going to pay. You've got to, really, that would determine who. If somebody wants a $20 book, they can pick up a $20 book on any subject. They can watch YouTube videos for free on any subject. But do you want information or transformation? If you want transformation, you're going to hire a coach. And that's why you're here on the Coach's Corner. Josh Rief, man, I appreciate it. Anything that you want to leave, I'm going to tell people to jump over to your group and check that out also. So if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, we're going to have audio. So we're going to be an audio version of this podcast. We'll cut out the very beginning where we all messed up with the technology. So I'll place links below this. If you're listening to this on Podbean or iTunes, you'll be able to pick it up. If you're watching this on Facebook as one of our sponsored posts, you'll have the links also. So pick up the guide, How to Approach Women Successfully Without Being Creepy, and join the Facebook group, Motivated Men, How to Meet and Date Attractive Women. Also, for my coaches, look at what Josh has done here. He's followed copywriting to a T. How to without, and how to get what you want. Very clear. Attractive women. So very cool. Also, for my listeners that have not yet signed up, got our book, lifecoachlifestyle.com. What's this going to do? It's going to teach you how to become a coach, like Josh, like myself, how to take what you have within you and take it out into the world, and how to get paid very well for doing it. If you are not a coach yet and want to become certified, or maybe you're certified but you have a real crappy system, you don't have a blueprint, then get certified. If you're a coach and you're still part-time, you want to go full-time, you need that 10, 20, 30,000 a month, then jump on board and we're going to teach you exactly how to do that. Josh, any parting thoughts, anything you love? First of all, thank you for your time in Thailand. Thank you for this time. Really have enjoyed it. Want to stay connected with you. But anything that you can give to our community, people that are listening, any last thoughts on dating, on coaching, anything?
Sure. So since we're talking to coaches here in all different realms, I think this would be good to just talk to everyone and say what we need. And what I need is that we all need to tell people how valuable coaches are and how valuable finding the right expert is to find the right transformation that you want, because this will help me. This will help all of you. If you meet someone who needs help with dating, please, you don't even have to refer me. Just encourage them to get a coach, to get someone that can walk them through that process. I'll do the same in fitness and all these other realms, but I think we need to help people get through the shame and of actually hiring a coach for what they need, and then secondarily seeing the value in paying for it. Explaining what I explain, and maybe this will help you guys, is when people ask me why would they pay me or buy my book or anything like that, when it's all free on Google or YouTube, is that I'm not offering information. Like Wayne said, I'm offering transformation. But to really explain that is, you can go and get free information anywhere, but a lot of it's junk advice. A lot of it's junk information by not experts. So they're looking for a needle in a crap haystack of junk advice, and I'm there to show them the needle. I'm there to show them what works and what doesn't, because if they just go on Google, they're going to see good advice and they're going to see junk, and they won't be able to tell the difference. So that's what we're here to do. We have a valuable service to offer, and we just, as a coaching community, need to encourage people to hire coaches, that know what they're talking about, check and make sure they're experts, and then pay for that because there's a value in that service. There's a value in that information because it's transformation. It's not just information.
That's exactly right. Josh, man, I appreciate it. Here's what I want to do, Josh. We'll end the broadcast here in a few minutes. I'm going to connect with you tomorrow. I'd love to see how I can help you. We can help each other. We definitely, as we just saw that Facebook user, happily married, but they have male friends. Yeah, I mean, I had a conversation with my best friend today. I said, there's nothing like having that wife that fully is everything. And she really is. And he said, I'm glad you have that. And, you know, kind of, because some people don't. We sometimes we take it for granted. Having those options, though. And again, coaches change lives. We bring transformation. So, guys, again, check out Josh. Go to his website, joshrief.net. And, again, check the links out below if you're listening to this on iTunes or on Podbean. And be sure to go to lifecoachlifestyle.com. Pick up the book, prosperwithwayne.com. You can pick up the book, watch our webinar, and so much more. Josh, always, man, keep doing what you're doing. I wish you the best of luck. If I can help you in any way, let me know.
Thanks for having me.
You got it, man.